We get it. You really want to achieve your goals. It's not your fault that every time you start working on your goal, something else pops up. I mean, you had that project at work. You can't work on this project and your goals at the same time. It's just too much. After that, you were tired. Then you started working on your goal, but it was hard, you were lost, and you didn't know what to do. It's like every time you start working on your goal, some disaster appears. I hate to break it to you, but the problem is you. Things pop up once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. But if you have something stopping you from making progress every single day, you made it up. You are stopping yourself from achieving success. You are creating problems and extra work to get yourself out of work you don't want to do. And by doing this constantly, you are telling yourself your goals don't matter as much as you're telling people they do. You can make excuses or you can make progress, but you can't make both. I am Layla from shutupandachieve.com. In this video, we'll uncover why you make excuses and how you can stop. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos on overcoming obstacles, building habits, and achieving success. The first reason we make excuses is fear. I know you're going to argue and say the real reason you make excuses is because you don't want to do the task. We'll get there. I started with fear because fear is cowardly. It often hides under the veil of I don't want to. Today we're going to take that veil off and understand how fear is holding you back. Thomas Jefferson said, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you have never done. And as much as you say you want something you've never had, you aren't willing to do something you've never done. Because doing new things are scary. There are many things we fear that can hold us back. For example, uncertainty. What will your life look like when you achieve this goal? How are you going to get there? Will you still be surrounded by the same people? Or will people start dropping out of your life? Aiming towards a new goal, especially if it's a big goal, creates a lot of uncertainty, and we don't like uncertainty. The fear of not knowing what could happen holds us back. We also fear change. You live in your comfort zone. If a problem arises, you know how to deal with it. If you want something, you know how to get it. Once you change, you step out of that comfort zone. Things become unfamiliar. You put yourself in new situations, and it makes you very, very uncomfortable. To avoid this, we just never try. Another thing we fear is failure. What if you do everything you can and you still don't make it? Will you lose your friend's respect? Will you lose your respect to yourself? And while you may fear failure, another thing you could fail is success. What if you spend all this time and all this effort to achieve this goal and you don't like the result at the end? What if you make it all the way to the top and you don't like the view? Finally, we can also fear other people's opinions. You're stepping out of the box of conformity. What will your neighbor think? What will Jessica think? What if they think you're a loser? What if they think you're crazy? The truth is, fear is paralyzing. It can stop you from taking the steps and creating a whole different life. Fear is an emotion, and you can take that fear and convert it into something else. You can convert it into excitement. To do that, you have to answer 3 questions. The first question to ask is, what are you afraid of? Remember, you may not even realize that you're afraid of anything. Fear is hiding under the veil of I don't want to. But if you really think about it, you realize that there is something you're afraid of that's holding you back. Are you afraid of change? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of other people's opinions? Uncover what that fear is. And then move on to the next question. Why are you afraid of it? Maybe you're afraid of other people's opinions. Maybe your parents will go and tell everybody and their brother that you decided to throw your entire life away and pursue this dream. What impact will that have on you? Are you willing to take the risk and let that happen? Why? Why do you still want to do whatever it is you're trying to do in spite of the fear? You have a reason to want to achieve this goal. Maybe you're not satisfied with your life, and maybe doing this thing will transform your life forever. Maybe this goal will help you gain the respect of your community and your family. You started this goal with a reason. Recall that reason and flesh it out. Let this reason build the excitement inside you and push you forward. Bill Cosby said, decide that you want it more than you're afraid of it. And that is a terrific way to overcome the fear. The second reason we make excuses is self-preservation. You told other people about your goals, and now it feels like you're in a courtroom and everyone is judging you. You have a certain image of yourself, and other people also have an image of you. This image may be that you're an achiever, or it may be that you'll never amount to anything. Pursuing this goal has the potential to change this image. You could fail and people will think you're a failure. You may start but then never finish and people will think you're a quitter. To avoid destroying your self-image to yourself and to others, You just don't try. You can't fail if you never tried, right? You put off the work, you tell everyone your goal, and that increases your status, but actually putting that goal into action has potential to ruin your reputation. And they say failure isn't bad, it's proof you're trying. Nobody sees it like that. If you failed, they'll think you're a failure. Here are 3 tips to get through this. First, don't tell others about your plans too early. Telling other people about your plans creates a lot of pressure that you don't need, especially in the beginning. If you do have to tell other people, under-promise so you can over-deliver. 2, set realizable goals and then break them down into mini tasks. If you set a realizable goal, then you should be able to achieve it. Checking off your mini tasks along the way will boost your motivation by giving you a sense of accomplishment. And in the worst case scenario, if you don't achieve your goal, having these mini tasks checked off will prove to yourself and to others that you did try and you did make progress. Finally, think about the worst thing that could happen if you fail and make a backup plan. Be prepared to face whatever comes your way. And chances are, once you really think about it, the worst thing that could happen isn't really that bad. The third reason we make excuses is because we're lazy. We don't want to do the task, so we find 1,000 things to do that are not the task. Instead of writing your assignment, you go and clean the kitchen. 3 hours later, the kitchen is clean, but your assignment is still not written. Instead of going to run a mile, you decide to look for the thing you lost 3 years ago. Never underestimate the mind that is trying to avoid a certain task. You'll find a million other things to do. There is nothing stopping you from doing this task, except you. The truth is, you will never want to do these tasks. The task will never get easier or less dreadful. The best way to approach these tasks is to just do it. They're like the part of the textbook that you don't understand, so you just memorize. You just have to deal with it and get it out of the way. Mark Twain said, "Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day." There are a lot of things that you'd rather not do. For example, eating a live frog. But if you just discipline yourself and have yourself sit down and do it, you're free to do whatever you want after. Next time there's a task that you don't want to do, try using Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Mel Robbins says that if you have an impulse to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill the idea. So next time you don't want to do something, say you'll do it in 5 seconds and count down from 5. Once you reach 1, get up and do the thing. No time for thoughts, no time to make excuses. Don Wilder said, "Excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure." Really think about this quote. By not doing the task, you are setting yourself up for failure. But by making excuses and telling yourself that it's okay not to do the task, you are solidifying that failure. You are telling yourself it's okay not to do what you said you do, and you should never make a habit of breaking your word to yourself. The key to stop making excuses is to understand why you're making them, and then deal with the underlying cause. It may be fear, it may be to preserve your self-image, and it may be just because you don't want to. And in that case, the only solution is to do it and get it over with. Discipline yourself and get it done with. This video was presented to you by Layla from shutupandachieve.com, a website dedicated to your success. We have articles and videos about overcoming obstacles, building habits, and creating success. If you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and check out our other videos, like the 2 presented on the screen right now.